Hello everybody, this is another Hot Wheels collector video. Today we are looking at the Lucid Air. This one is from the 2023 Hot Wheels main line. However, this casting was first introduced to the Hot Wheels lineup in 2022. This is the 2023 recolor as well as a black one, which is also from 2023, but I think this is the nicest version so far up until this point. This is an almost goldy kind of colour, but I'm going to call this a metallic cream colour because it's not quite gold. And I really do like this colour, but we'll get into that in a little bit when I get into the showcase of this car. This car has been released in 4 colours, one of them being this one. It has also been in black, white and a silverish grey. All of them look pretty nice on the car. I think my least favourite colour for this car is definitely the black colour. Anyways, let me give you some facts about this car before we get into the actual showcase of the Hot Wheels model. So first of all, in real life this car has an 112 kilowatt hour battery, which produces 480 horsepower and 600 newton meters of torque. That converts to about 443 pound-feet of torque. This car also has a 0 to 60 in 3.9 seconds, so not too bad to be entirely honest, but does have a pretty terrible top speed of 122 miles per hour. This car is not very cheap either, because it has a starting price of $77,000, which is about £61,000. At that price point, this car is very slow, and you could obviously get something like an Audi RS3, Golf R, etc. for the exact same price, and that'll go probably at least another 40 miles per hour faster. So that is unfortunate, but you will get a very, very quick acceleration with this car in real life. I do think this car does look nicer than most Teslas. I do quite like the Tesla Model 3, but the other ones are a bit, yeah. To be honest, I'm not an electric car type of person. I'm really not a big fan of electric stuff, but this one does look pretty nice in my opinion. Anyways, let's get into the actual showcase of the Hot Wheels model, and then I'll give you my final thoughts on this one. Alright, so starting off the showcase of this car, we'll first of all talk about the wheel choice. These are the Rio Sada 6 spokes from 2017. They are done in chrome, and I do think they suit this car amazingly. These wheels only really work on modern types of cars, which are kind of futuristic looking. They definitely don't fit on things like the GMC Cyclone, which Hot Wheels love to put these wheels on, but I think they look hideous on that car and they need to stop. It's stupid looking in my opinion. As for the colour of the car, I've already mentioned, it's like a metallic cream or almost a gold colour. It's very nice. This car does have side mirrors or wing mirrors in the actual metal casting, which is very nice, and there is a little bit of tampo work on this car. You can see the Air logo, obviously this being the Lucid Air, and this is obviously the Air model from Lucid, so you get that little badge there. That is actually tampoed. Very nicely done. You could also see the side skirt here is created using the black base plastic, and I will also mention the interior is also done in black plastic. You can see all the windows on this car are wound up, and I do think that is the best look for this one. I think wounding the windows down, at least the front ones anyway, would look a little bit silly, especially with that huge window which goes from all the way from the windshield all the way to the roof, but I will touch on that in a little bit. Moving on to the front of this car, because I don't think I've missed anything off of this so far. We'll talk about the tampo work. There is some. It's on the front bumper, and they have done a realistic look on the headlights of this car. It's a big massive strip, and it also includes the Lucid writing or badge, if you will. It does look very nice, and it's very well executed from the Hot Wheels design team. You can also see the front splitter, if you will want to call that, or maybe just the lower section of the front bumper is created using the black base plastic and acts as a very nice colour split. I do love it when Hot Wheels use that, and I think it's utilising the mainline stuff and being cost effective in a very, very nice way, adding lots of detail and getting a really good bargain, really, to be honest. I think this is a really nice model, and you can pick this up for less than £2 in most stores. But there you go, that's really the front. There is no tampo work on the hood of this car, but it is slightly textured, obviously realistic to the real life model. I'm trying to show you, this car does not have any windshield wipers in the plastic, which is meant to represent the glass. That would be found on the real life car, unfortunately. Now moving on to this side, you can see obviously the door handles are actually in the metal casting, but it's the exact same as the previous side, so you can obviously pause the video and have a look for something specific if you are looking for that. If not, we'll move on to the rear of this car. So the rear does actually have tampos as well. This is very generous from Hot Wheels. So we have front tampo, side tampo, as well as rear tampo. Usually you only get 2 tampo prints. That's usually the sides and the back, for example, or the sides and the front, or the top and the front and the back. Sometimes it really does depend, but honestly, it's very rare that we see headlights and rear lights as well as side tampos, so it is very nice to see that, especially on a mainline car. You can see obviously the tampo on the rear is obviously the rear light, as I've already said, and it also includes the Lucid badge, once again similar to the front, and that Lucid badge is done in a silver tampo. There is no license plate on this car, but there is a license plate holder carved out, so you could add your own license plate if you so wished. You could obviously do that using a sticker. You can also see the lower portion of the rear bumper, or maybe even the diffuser if you will, although it's not really a diffuser. It's created using the black base plastic, very nice use of that. Once again, acts as a nice colour split. Now we will move to the top of the car. We have these weird, these must be for aerodynamics, they must be. I have no idea what these are for, and somebody can probably enlighten me. I'm not a whole lot clued up with Lucid. I actually thought when this first debuted last year that this was a fantasy casting, very similar to the Automobili Pininfarina Battista. I thought these two were both fantasies, but actually they were both licensed castings. Obscure ones at that, but still licensed. So somebody can probably let me know what those are. I was going to say they look like aerials, but you wouldn't have two, and they're probably aerodynamic because we all know how much car companies go for aerodynamics in these electric cars over actual looks. Most of them look very ugly, in my opinion. I know some people absolutely love electric cars, that's totally fine, but I just don't like the design of most of them. I think they look hideous. That's my opinion. But there you have this weird kind of windshield roof window, sunroof I suppose. It's very similar to what Teslas do as well, but this one doesn't go all the way from the front windshield all the way to the rear window. It stops about a little bit more than halfway through the roof. Very interesting design, obviously accurate to the real life model. But there you go, that's really it for this Hot Wheels casting. Now let's get into my final thoughts and review of this one. Alright, so now it's time for my final review and thoughts on this car. I think it's really awesome, and actually I wasn't even going to get this car last year until I realised it was licensed and I knew I had to pick one up. This one is much nicer than the black one, which is obviously just a regular glossy black. It is not metallic, and I really do think this car really does deserve that metallic treatment. So there you go, I really love this thing and I'm happy to see it in the Hot Wheels mainline. Do I think it'll come to premium? I can't see it coming to premium, but maybe it will. They seem to love re-releasing this casting. They've made so many recolors in such a short period of time, literally in a year, 4 recolors. So it wouldn't surprise me, but honestly I don't think people really want it or need it to go to premium. I think this has enough detail in itself and it can stay in the mainline. I'm interested to see what kind of crazy details or tampos they decide to put on this one. It'll probably be a very similar story to the Automobili Pininfarina Battista. I do like referencing that car because I think these two cars are both overlooked because people actually don't realise they're licensed cars, like myself. I didn't for such a long time. But anyways, what I'm going to give this car a score out of 10. I'm going to give this car a solid 9 out of 10. I'm really pleasantly surprised by this car. It's another one which actually shocked me as to how good this casting is, and it's really well executed as per usual from the Hot Wheels team. But anyways, that's it for this video. So if you enjoy, make sure to like. If you're new to the channel, subscribe. Remember, you can also press that notifications bell so you do not miss any new uploads. Remember, you can also share this video with any friends, family, or any groups who may be interested in this video. But remember, don't feel pressure to if you don't feel like you have anybody who may be interested. You watching this video all the way to the end means so much to me, and I really do thank you for making it all the way up until this point. Anyways, that's it for this video. So I hope you guys enjoyed, and I hope to see you guys in the next one. Bye bye, everyone.